Wednesday, December 17th, 2025. We are at O'Hare International Airport in Chicago, standing in front of a sign that explicitly states, "Immigration enforcement is prohibited in the area." Behind the sign stand federal agents from Customs and Border Patrol. They stop every Uber and Lyft driver at a checkpoint to demand identification papers, hoping to find individuals to detain. No warrants in sight. How did we get here? 2 days prior, we heard that Border Patrol Commander Greg Bavino is back in town after having left Chicago in October. In the following months, they used many of the same tactics in Charlotte, New Orleans, and Minneapolis that we had seen in Chicago. Bavino had upwards of 100 Border Patrol agents with him. I wondered why they were back in Chicago so soon. Later, we found out that they had their own journalists in tow to create media supporting their narrative. Tuesday morning, myself and another filmmaker drive around the neighborhood of Little Village. We suspect that ICE will be back there since they'd spent a large amount of time in the neighborhood before, often deploying tear gas and other methods against residents. When they left Chicago the first time, they smiled in front of the bean while yelling Little Village, as though it were all a joke. Soon enough, we find an SUV filled with Border Patrol agents. We follow them to a large convoy of at least 8 cars. They go up and down the street, looking for people to detain. Soon they make their way to an alley where we are blocked from going further. Down the alleyway, they detain a man. As we sit there, an agent in the car in front of us gets out and asks if we are going to follow them all day. I respond, "Yes, we are press." He says, "That's a bad idea." He uses my first name. 2 other times throughout the day, they're aggressive towards us. Once when we are following them, they quickly stop in front of us, get out of the car, and approach us. They say, "This is your first and only warning. Don't follow us so closely." Later, the same agent threatens to subpoena our footage.
You're in the minivan, right?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, can I get a photo of your press badge?
Yeah.
Probably gonna be subpoenaing your footage.
I wonder how long our First Amendment constitutional rights will remain in place. Meanwhile, we watch the journalist from Fox News invited to follow closely. That morning, we drive around Little Village, watching the community come out to resist their presence. Some people will only see this as residents trying to interfere with law officers. Others will see a community standing up for their constitutional rights, angry that they are being targeted for the color of their skin and being forced to carry documentation with them every day, whether they are citizens or not. They find a man and detain him. He yells that his zip tie handcuffs are too tight as they push him into a car. Tuesday afternoon, in front of the Berwyn police station, we watch Border Patrol detain 2 people. One is a woman. The community yells at them to go away. One person shouts that they are detaining U.S. citizens. If this is the case, then Border Patrol has detained another U.S. citizen in violation of their rights.
Taxpayer money.
Next, they are at a gas station at Forest Park where they fill up their tanks and grab snacks. The neighborhood comes out, blowing their whistles and yelling. Inside the gas station, they talk to their embedded journalist. Later that afternoon, they make more detainments before dropping off individuals at the Broadview Detention Center. Wednesday morning, we are filming in a Menards parking lot. An agent jumps out of the car when he sees a man walking through it. The man spots them and sprints across the parking lot. I run after them. The man runs into a Portillo's restaurant and the agent loses him. At this point, I hear from home that agents are driving up and down my street. I worry that they know who I am and are targeting my neighborhood, so we quickly drive back. By the time we arrive, they are already gone. Wednesday afternoon, we find them again up in Evanston. They've detained a man after breaking his window in a Home Depot parking lot. The mayor of Evanston stands there staring them down.
Do you know who this man is? It does not matter. I'm asking him to move back.
It doesn't matter who I am. I'm asking why you're...
Can you move back?
There's chaos in the parking lot as dozens and dozens of people come out in support of the community. A helicopter circles overhead. We continue following them up and down the streets on the north side. The convoy is huge, 10 cars with at least 3 agents per car. We spend 2 hours driving around, heading in one direction before backtracking. We go up and down highways, first to the north and then to the south. During this time, they make no detainments. I wonder how this is a good use of taxpayer dollars. If ICE were a military, it would have the 13th largest budget in the world. We end up in Niles where they arrest a woman who is partially blocking their car in a parking lot. Later, we end up in another Home Depot parking lot where they detain a man who is working. He says goodbye quietly to someone he is with as his life has changed forever. Late Wednesday afternoon, we continue driving around, unsure where we are going next. We think that maybe they are done for the day, but we want to continue following them to their final location to see where they end up. That's how we find ourselves at the rideshare parking lot at O'Hare. The line of cars is backed up, dozens of cars deep, as they try to exit the parking lot. Every single person is stopped and asked to show their papers, legal citizens and residents alike, people from every ethnicity. I wonder if it will be a relief for people to know that in this instance, Border Patrol isn't racially profiling. Or will it make them fear that this too could come for them? They stop one man from Somalia as he is praying. He is angry that they interrupted his prayers. The agent laughs at him and says he isn't special as they tell him they are running his image through their facial recognition software.
Well, we let you pray.
Then why you stand in front of me?
I need to take your facial recognition stuff. You're not that special.
Well, no, I'm special because I'm praying. I'm in front of God.
Why?
They stop a South Asian man from India. At first, he seems unaware of what is taking place. As they start to put the cuffs on him, he pleads with them not to. He says he is not a criminal, shocked that he's being targeted. He's been here for 11 years.
Why you arrest me, sir?
Put your hands behind your back.
Can I call my... Sir, please, sir.
You will have the opportunity.
Sir, please, sir, not to... Sir, no, sir, please, sir. Sir, please, sir. Sir, but I'm not criminal, sir. Why you arrest me? Sir, I have lots of trouble in a life.
I witnessed at least 6 detainments in the parking lot, and there are many I missed. This all happens in front of that sign. It clearly states ICE cannot be here. If the federal government decides it has no need to comply with the laws of state or local municipalities, who will stop them? With the other 2 journalists here, I expect that this will be front page news the next day. Instead, all I find is one image, buried in a stack of other images. This has all become so normalized. Government agents in army fatigues with automatic weapons can now set up checkpoints and demand the papers of every individual who crosses. We were the only film cameras there to document this. I think of all the other times that they've been places and no one has been there to witness what they are doing. The old question comes to mind. If a tree falls in the forest and no one is there to hear it, does it make a sound? The silence is deafening.